I want to apologize in advance for the quality of the video because OBS isn't exactly my best type of recording software. I typically play with kilometers per hour and the altitude is in meters. Before I really get into the meat of the video, I wanted to say that Ace Combat Fan has a video with the basics of PSM activation and manipulation on his channel. I'll be linking it in the description. If you haven't seen that, or if you would prefer to watch my video, then just go on ahead. I'll also include a marker as to where the more advanced stuff starts happening.
Stall warning. Stall warning.
So PSM can be activated by pushing both of the triggers on your gamepad and pulling back on the thumbstick.
Stall warning.
Once you do this, your plane will pretty much give off a sound notifying you that you are now in PSM mode. You'll be able to maneuver your plane pretty much however you like. You can do PSM in pretty much any direction you feel like, as long as you're within these parameters of speed. Now these parameters are 499 kilometers per hour, pretty much around to the stall speed of 185 kilometers per hour, which is when the Su-37 starts stalling. I'm going to keep the speed here as a reminder. Now, amongst the basic rules of aviation, in its simplest terms, is you go up and you fight against gravity and you go slower. You go down, you work with gravity, and you go faster. The same also applies during PSM. You can pull PSM out of a series of high Gs just as long as you're within the speed bracket of activation. A very little known fact about PSM is that you can manipulate the throttle as you're inside of it, basically allowing you to hold the PSM for longer or to pretty much cancel it out whenever you feel like. Mastering throttle manipulation and controlling the trajectory of your plane allows you to pretty much PSM wherever and whenever you want. A funny thing about PSM is that if you end a PSM while you're still within the correct speed bracket, you can immediately use another PSM to continue what you've been doing. The main advantage of this is that there's pretty much no loss of speed, no stalling, and there's pretty much no downside. In PSM, if you're not even really moving around or while you're in it, you're just going to drain speed automatically and it'll pull you out of it. We'll show what happens when you end it with the throttle. Most typically when you're in a PSM fight with another opponent, you'll be using your accelerator more than the brakes. One of the coolest features about PSM is that if somebody is attacking you and you're the defender, you can pretty much immediately spin those rolls around and be attacking them. When you're using a PSM craft, you never really have to put up with anyone behind you because you can just PSM and get right out of it. The way the gun works is basically shoot and the bullets go where you want, but they're not really affected by PSM so much. It is rewarding to learn, but it's not exactly something I would focus on. When you're not in PSM, your missiles will pretty much always fly true and straight. When you're in PSM, this isn't always the case. Whenever you PSM in a straight line, the game will pretty much consider your missiles to be going along the path that you were going. So what it'll do is curve your missiles in the direction of which you PSM. If there's anything to learn in PSM fights, it has to be this, curving your missile. It'll be your primary source of damage whenever you're fighting another opponent who's in a PSM capable plane just as you are. That's about all I have for the advanced PSM guide and the basics. If you have any questions or if you would like for me to make any other videos, please let me know. My DMs are always open on Discord and here. I'm always checking the replies. Please subscribe. Have fun.